This game is not suitable for children or the easily disturbed. What? It's about a fucking cat. It includes depictions of horror elements, human/animal violence. Oh my god. Abusive relationships, disturbing images, loud noises, flashing images, lights, and more. Individuals suffering from anxiety, depression, or certain fears, phobias may not have a safe experience. Well, fuck. You're not having a great day as usual. Oh, great. It's the first time in a while that you felt like going out. But in the middle of your walk, it starts to rain. Typical. But maybe this is just a sign that you should have stayed home today. Yeah, you can always try again tomorrow. Right? You turn to head home when... Our kitty! Huh? What was that? There are only a few people around on the street. Makes sense due to the increase of missing persons around the area recently. Well, that and the weather. But none of them react to the sound at all. Curiosity guiding your steps, you follow the sound to the entrance of a dark, dingy alleyway. You timidly enter the alley and walk forward. The ground dampened by the rain makes your steps sound louder and more confident than you actually feel. Meow, meow! Finally, the sound source comes into view in the cold, dim light of the alley. At the end of the alley in a big cardboard box. A cat! Aw, cute kitty! You guess that should have been obvious. It's an interesting looking cat. Its pretty yellow eyes shine like gold among the dark sea of its black fur. It puts its front paws up on the edge of the box and looks up at you. So cute! And it definitely knows it. You never had much of an opinion one way or the other about cats before, but if they're all like this one, it's a shock they haven't already found a way to rule the world. You don't think you'd mind blowing down to a feline overlord? You look around the alley with a small frown. Who leaves cats in cardboard boxes these days anyway? Wouldn't they just jump out and leave the box eventually? The cat doesn't answer you. Of course not, because it's a cat, you psycho bitch. It also doesn't do as you suggest and leave the box. It's just looking at you, as if waiting for you to make the next move. I mean, the game's called Do Not Take This Cat Home. So... we're gonna take the cat home. You know what? Give me this cat. You reach into the box and pick the cat up, holding it out in front of you. Why not? You're all alone, and well, I'm kind of the same boat myself, so you bring the cat close. You didn't realize it was shivering until just then, but it slowly breathes easier as it presses into your chest. Why not stick together, right? At least for a little while. Oh, it's purring. You think a little while will probably be more like a day. You'll be responsible and take it to a shelter tomorrow, but for now, let's get you out of the rain, okay? Just take it to a shelter now. You stop by a small local pet store for some cat food, then head back home. You live in a modest apartment. 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. One you living alone in it. So it feels weird having another living being inside it after so long, even if it is just a cat. Is it though? After locking the front door and placing the cat on the floor, you watch for a moment as it curiously explores the new environment. Leaving the feline to its own devices, you set about making the both of you some dinner. You take out the can of cat food and open it with the tab on it. You put some cat food on a saucer and click your tongue to call the cat over to you. It perks up at your beckoning and rushes over. It looks at the plate of food and completely ignores it. Not hungry, I guess. You try not to let it annoy you. The cat doesn't understand the concept of money to appreciate that you spent your hard-earned cash on it. Oh boy, it's just a cat after all. I'll just leave it here if you get hungry later, okay? The cat rubs its body against your legs with a purr. You smile. That's enough of a thanks for you. It follows you into the kitchen as you start on your own dinner. You decide that you have enough ingredients for a sandwich. Bread toasted, mayo and mustard spread, turkey and cheese and lettuce perfectly placed. Ow! You wince as you cut your finger on the knife while slicing a tomato. Stupid! You feel a little embarrassed for such a blunder and sigh, tossing the knife onto the cutting board. Oh no, is our cat a vampire? Why is this reminding me of a story I read in middle school? I don't know what it's called though. You're about to head to the bathroom for a bandage when the cat hops up onto the counter. It sniffs at the knife and meows almost pointedly at you. Don't worry, I'm alright. It was just a... You watch as the cat starts to... Ew! Lick lightly but enthusiastically at the blood on the knife. At your blood. You're so shocked that by the time you come to your senses, the knife has been completely licked clean. That's sick in the friggin' head, dude. You feel a little uneasy. Sure, cats are meat-eating predators, but that was a little weird. Right? Sure, you're no cat expert, but that was definitely not something an ordinary cat would do. Right? Well, regardless, just back to just back to some joyful music. You're not about to abandon a cat in need while it's still raining outside, not after all your efforts. You're going to take it to the shelter tomorrow anyway. What's one night of awkwardness? Weird or not, it's just a cat that's gonna eat us in our sleep. The rest of the evening, unfortunately, goes downhill from there. Even after covering up your fingers cut with a bandage, the cat keeps trying to lick at the wound. While you're eating your sandwich, while you're cleaning up the kitchen, while trying to watch TV, you gently push it away every time, but you're starting to get worried at the strange behavior. What if it's got a taste for blood and thinks you're food now? You're not sure what you'll do if it starts to get more aggressive. You keep thinking about the cat food sitting in the corner, untouched. Come on, enough already! You shove it away a little more forcefully this time, out of annoyance. You feel bad immediately, but before you can do anything, the cat meows sharply at you and dashes off around the corner and into the hall. You sigh deeply. At this point, you're just worried that it's going to take a bite out of you in your sleep. That's what I'm saying! Maybe a vet will have an idea on how to calm it down. You can only hope. You don't have many other options left other than tossing the cat out in the rain. After finding the number of a local vet, you pick up your landline and... the lights just... went out? Great. Just great. Rain must have knocked out the power. You check your cell phone and only find that it's out of batteries. You must have forgotten to charge it before leaving out earlier. The outing had been so spur of the moment that it had no doubt messed with your usual routine. You grab a flashlight and turn it on. It's quiet. It's too quiet. Did the rain stop? But then, why did the power go out? You look outside. No, the sky's pitch black. What time is it? You turn to check the clock. Oh, it says hell. Kill, hell, kill, hell. The cat sits on top of your digital clock staring at you. Oh, you creepy fuck. Thinking now, you realize the clock shouldn't be working at all with the power outage, but the numbers are all lit up. It says help. And going completely haywire, the cat stares at you. It's completely still. You'd think it was a statue if you didn't know any better. It's not giving off indication that it's alive. It's not blinking, it's not even breathing, but its eyes. This isn't normal. You're afraid. You want to run, but you're afraid of letting the cat out of your sight. You consider tossing the cat out after all. But as soon as the thought enters your head, you feel a sharp urge to vomit. Literally all fucking day. All fucking day. Same. Those eyes. Its eyes hold you still, even with your flashlight trained on it. Its pupils are large, round, inky pits. Oh my god. The flashlight flickers. And the cat is gone. Fear immediately grips your mind. The silence, punctuated with the rapid pumping of your blood in your heart, is overwritten as your ears slowly start to pick up the sound of static all around you. How is the clock working with no power? You don't know why such a question matters at the moment, but you feel as if having the answer will make sense of everything that's happening. That order will be restored. But no answer comes to mind. You back away from the clock and feel as if the air itself coils tightly and abruptly in response, like a predator prepared to pounce, but waiting for your next move. But you're afraid to move. You're afraid to even take a breath. But you can't stay still forever, right? Whatever's watching you, you can already feel its impatience. It's too eager. You don't know how you know this, but you can sense it as clearly as if it had whispered. Oh, hell no! That went in one ear, out the other. That's gonna be a big fat no from me, dog. I don't like directional shit. Right into your ear. Right into your soul. It won't let you wait it out. Not that you could even if it did. You can't stay here. You have to run. With this thought, a sudden primal instinct awakens within you, making you tear yourself into a hasty burst of movement, of action. But you're still weak from the fierce grip on your mind, your legs tangled together under you in your haste, and you fall to the ground. Oh my god, you clumsy bitch! A sharp pain explodes in the center of your foot. At first you think you've broken your ankle, but something warm and wet trickles down the length of your foot, pulling underneath it. You hear the sound of metal scraping on the tiles after skidding across the floor, as if it had been kicked. Winded from your fall, you look up in a daze and see the object glinting in a strange light. Oh shit. The light pouring in from your now open front door. Thoughts of how, when, who, what in regards to your inexplicably open doors screech to a halt as your brain finally identifies the metallic object you've been staring at. Oh no. And still tinted red from your earlier blunder. But that's not right. Wasn't it completely licked clean by the... You gulp dryly at the pain in your foot. You barely have time to wonder how the knife ended up on your living room floor to be stepped on, instead of resting on your cutting board in the kitchen where you'd left it. The eyes, when you spy something in the darkness just beyond the knife. It spies right back at you. A pair of glowing golden eyes comes forward as the cat emerges from the shadows into the light from your doorway. It pads lightly over to the knife, as if skipping in delight. It's gonna start licking it. You nasty! And bends down to lap at the blood dripping from the blade. Your senses slowly begin to overwhelm you. The chill of the air as it starts to suffocate you under its weight. The sound of your shaky breast discordant against the static, now piercing your skull. The dryness on your tongue spreading to your throat. The incomprehensible sight of the stray you'd taken in. Away at your kitchen knife, once again completely clean. The scent of blood from the fresh wound on your foot. What? Golden eyes slide up to you as if in response to your sudden realization. Blood. You're hurt. Your foot is bleeding. You're bleeding.
You're bleeding.
The cat barely moves, shoulders twitching as if it just considers the act of pouncing forward. But you're already on your feet and out the door. Oh, thank God we have a little sense. You run, or rather limp, down the empty street. The sky is black and bleeding red, but there's a strange light emitting from nowhere that casts everything else in white. The houses, the trees, the road, even you. Everything, except your blood. You can just barely glimpse the bloody imprints your injured foot leaves in your wake with every impact it makes with the ground. It hurts. It hurts. But you can't stop. You don't stop. Not when the shadows grow around you. Not when you feel the gaze of eyes all over you. Not when the road ahead of you is darkened by a long shadow of something behind you. Even then, you don't stop running, because if that's the cat right there ahead of you, then what in the world is behind you? Keep running, ho! Huh? Interesting. How very, very interesting. What? What if we don't take the cat home? Sadly, as cute as the cat is, you'd never take this thing home with you. You just can't take it home with you. You're a responsible adult. You are. With rent and bills to pay for, not to mention you need to buy food to survive too. There's no way you could care for a cat long term, right? You can barely afford this little outing on your day off. What to do? Oh, shit. You play with the cat. You just want a little attention, don't you? The poor thing must be bored sitting in that box all day. You're not sure you're much of an interesting companion, but you're willing to do your best. There's gotta be something you can entertain the little critter with. But what? You search around, but there's nothing in the alley that looks interesting enough for the cat to play with. So maybe... how about a game? You decide on a game you've known since childhood. We're not about to play no red light, green light with the damn cat. A classic. Teaching a cat how to play might be a bit of a challenge, but you get the feeling the feline's natural hunting instincts will help it along. You walk to the entrance of the alley, the cat meowing at you. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. You exaggerate your movements, covering your eyes with your hands, and turn around. 1, 2, 3. Red light! You spin around. The cat hasn't left the box, tilting its head at you in curious confusion. Of course, because it's a fucking cat. Try something else. Check your pockets. Small piece of string in your left pocket, not very helpful. The string is far too short. An eager and exciting cat leaping for it could easily lead to you getting bitten or scratched. We're not giving the cat chocolate. The other thing you've got is your phone. It's not much of anything the cat can play with, but there is something you can do. Oh, we took a picture of the kitty. Photo montage! Well, that was fun, right? Well, you enjoyed yourself. With nothing else to do and no intention of taking the cat home, you decide it's probably best to just leave. You don't want the cat to get too attached after all. At least, you'll have some memories to take with you. See you around, I guess. Good luck. Okay. You turn and walk away. Oh my Jesus fucking shit. Your phone just got a message. You open it up and... What? It's a picture of a familiar looking cat. Huh? The cat does look cute and happier in the picture, but it's not a picture you recognize. What the heck? Did I... You peek over your shoulder at the cat. But the cat is simply looking at you. It mews sadly as if pleading you to come back. Leave. You ignore the cat and briskly walk out of the alley without another look. That was weird. You're a good distance away when... Oh shit. You reluctantly look at the new message and... Don't ignore me. Creeped out, you decide to just go home. I know you're seeing these. Oh my god, I'm gonna block this number. Oh, Jesus Christ, go away. I have a cat stalking me? Oh, hell no. That's creepy as shit. Oh. Ew! Can always see you. Oh my god. You can't hide. I'll always find you. Your eyes dart around nervously, certain that you're being followed. There's nothing there. You're finally home, but you feel too shaken for any relief to calm you down. You rush to the bathroom and slam the door behind you. Everything's okay. This isn't real. It's just like a bad dream. Everything's okay. You fumble in the dark to turn on the sink and splash your face with some cold water, hoping it will calm your mind and stop the hallucinations, because that's all they are, right? Hallucinations. You're really regretting leaving home today. You must have been overworking yourself more than you realized. Yeah, that must be... You jump as your phone alerts you to yet another message you received. Phone vibrates insistently over and over, but you just can't look. Keep your eyes squeezed shut, your fingers tightly gripping the sink. In your mind, you beg whoever, whatever it is doing this to just stop already. Please, please, please just put me out of my misery. You mutter this quietly. You don't really mean it. You don't. But as the words take shape in the darkest corners of your mind, the phone immediately stops vibrating. You think that this would give you relief, but you only feel dread sinking heavily into your stomach. You can feel eyes on you. You can feel puffs of air on the back of your neck, damp and deep and slow. Okay, don't word it like that. You take a deep breath and open your eyes. You look at the mirror. Nothing. Ah! I'm freaked! Don't! You peek around the room. Still nothing. Still nothing and nothing at all. But you know that something is there, waiting to be acknowledged, for you to accept the fact of its existence. Only then it will give you peace. To free you from a life of constantly looking over your shoulder, of fearing your own image, your own reflection. You can feel its patience, limitless and old. You can't win against it in a whir of a treat. Your life has been long before it tires you. So, you close your eyes and accept it. Oh, shit. As your head is severed from your neck, you're filled with peace. Grateful that at the very least, you never had to see it. Whatever it was. How many endings are there? Feed the cat. You don't think it's a good idea to get the cat's hopes up of having someone look after it if you're not willing to commit. What if it gets attached and somehow tracks you down back to your home? Sorry, see you around, I guess. You stand up, the cat watching you every move. You make it halfway out of the alley when the cat meows almost pitifully at you. Ignore! You need to nip this in the bud and get on with your day. It's what's best for the both of you. You leave the alley and continue on your way. Wait. What was I doing? In all of the excitement of dealing with your furry dilemma, you've forgotten that you still hadn't decided on what you're going to do for your day off. Let's go watch a movie. It's been a while since a film came out that looked interesting enough for you to drag yourself to a movie theater, but there's a showing of one such film at the old theater. The movie was a little too niche to be picked up by the new cinema that opened right across the street. That's okay though, you're not exactly a fan of the crowds, and nothing ruins the experience of watching a new movie for you more than a noisy audience. Go to the old theater. You eagerly buy your ticket from the kind old man in the booth and head inside. It's barren of any trace of other people, and the decor looks like it hasn't changed since the 80s, maybe even 70s, but it's what you were counting on. You consider buying some popcorn, but can't help but be concerned that everything at the concession stand might be expired. The show is Cats. We're watching the musical Cats. You move on and walk through the halls, finally locating the theater designated on your ticket stub. As expected, the theater your movie will be playing in is completely empty. Perfect. You pick a spot right in the middle, even counting the seats and taking in consideration the gap of the staircase. As you settle in, the dim lights fade away, leaving the room pitch black for a few seconds. Before the screen flickers on, no commercials or trailers pop up. The movie just begins. Pleased, you shrug and let yourself get immersed in the opening scene. But just as you're getting in the premise, the doors open behind you, momentarily casting light into the room and ruining the atmosphere. You hold in a frustrated sigh. It's a public establishment after all. The place can't exactly afford to stay open if you're the only customer. You try to refocus on the movie, but you sense the new presence slowly shifting around the theater, before heading in your general direction. Son of a bitch. What? Oh, hell no. You gape in utter disbelief as the stranger shuffles down the aisle and they sit right in front of you. There's no one else here and plenty of places to sit. The stranger is also unusually tall. Even with the stadium-like arrangement of the seats being on a somewhat steep incline, they're completely blocking your view. Just move to another spot. You don't want to risk escalating the situation further. This whole thing is already making you uneasy. Why would they choose to sit right in front of you? Surely they know you wouldn't be able to see past them. Shaking your head with a passive-aggressive scoff in the stranger's direction, you reluctantly pick another less perfect seat in the theater. But as you settle down, you see the strange person get up, only to once again sit down in the seat directly in front of you. You look around somewhat helplessly, as if waiting for someone to silently agree with you about how odd all of this is, or to at least inform you that it's all an elaborate prank. But there's no one else here with you. That's how you've always liked it, but you can't help but think that maybe it would be nice to have someone else here if it meant not being alone with this weird jerk. Just leave the theater. I think we should just leave the theater. At this point, it's not worth it. Feeling uncomfortable, you decide to leave the theater. There's still enough time left in the day to do something else. Now what? Go to the new cinema. You don't know why, but you don't really feel great about the idea of being alone right now. Deciding to wait for the movie you've been anticipating to be able on DVD streaming, you join the long hours initiative. But by the time you've reached the ticket booth, you just want to get inside. So you pick a movie at random and take your ticket from the tired-looking teenager manning the booth. The decor is chic and sleek, and the inside is bustling with people. It's not what you're usually into, but it's kind of nice not being alone. Even if you feel a little lonely watching families and groups of friends laughing among themselves. You'd get some popcorn, but the lines at the concession stands are long, and the prices are criminal anyway. You go through the halls, and follow the signs to the theater designated on your ticket before heading inside. Sigh. You sigh at the sight of the absolutely crowded theater. You head towards a seat only to be told by the person next to you that it's being saved for someone. This happens a few more times before you finally manage to get yourself settled into a seat annoyingly off-center of the screen. But the screen is at least visible, if not a little too close, so you grit your teeth and bear it. The lights fade out, but the chatter doesn't. The rest of the audience seems content to talk through the commercials and even through the trailers. You figure the chatter will stop when the movie actually begins, but it doesn't. But it doesn't get even slightly quieter as the opening scene starts to play out. You sigh out loud, not thinking anyone would hear you anyway. This is why you avoid movie theaters like the plague. Oh my. Suddenly the screen changes, showing the face of a black cat. A familiar black cat. Confused murmurs fills the room, but then the cat on the screen meows. That's not a fucking meow! You sit in confusion, wondering why you haven't already gotten up and left to complain to the cinema staff, but then you hear it. It's scattered and distant at first, but among the crowd, people start to chant. Wow. Oh, no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Soon the entire room is chanting in perfect unison. Everyone's staring intently at the cat on the screen. You're feeling strangely drawn to the screen yourself, but the compulsion to stare blankly like the others isn't that strong for now. Also, you start to notice out of the corner of your eye that some of the people in your immediate vicinity are looking at you. They're outright staring holes into you, even as they continue chanting. They don't miss a beat as they slowly begin to frown at you in blatant disapproval. Their scowls deepen as time goes on, as if they're getting impatient. Try to blend in. Thinking fast, you look to the screen and begin to chant in tandem with the crowd. I don't know what they're saying. You feel the harshness of their collective gaze start to ebb away, the air in the theater becoming lighter once again. What the fuck? You release air shakily, just realizing that you've been holding your breath earlier. You feel stuck. Surely you can't just up and leave now, not after whatever all that was. The people around you all seem fine now, but there's no telling if they'd get aggressive at you for even moving too much. Never mind outright getting up and leaving. You decide to let this run its course. Hopefully someone will come along, right? Or at least turn the film off? You continue to chant along with everyone. You start to feel lightheaded. You feel as if you could fall asleep, but your eyes don't feel heavy in the slightest. You try to look around and gauge the other's emotional state, but you can't seem to look away from the screen. You try again, but you're still locked into the eye contact with the cat on screen. You attempt to physically force your line of vision away. You steel your nerves, ready to throw yourself to the ground if you need to, but your body only gets as far as tensing up for a moment before completely loosening itself again, making you lay back limply into your seat. You think you should be panicking right about now, but even your brain feels limp. Your thoughts vaguely muted pastel pink, airy, sickening sweet, and loosely spun, like cotton candy. You like cotton candy. You think you shouldn't mind your thoughts and body being like cotton candy either. So, why get up and ruin that? It's nice here. You're more at peace than you've ever felt before in such a crowded room. Still chanting, you've never felt so aligned and in tune with another person, let alone with an entire room full of complete strangers. You're not alone. Out of the corner of your eye, the person next to you starts to sink back even further into their chair. They sink more, then more. Not like they're slouching or reclining. It's so loud! But more like they're deflating. Their skin bunches up and wrinkles like fabric as if their muscles, their bones have started to disintegrate. Their eyes dim before sinking into their sockets. Their mouth, still attempting to chant, falls open over a cut-off nya. Gaping as the world ends in an awful hiss, a final weak release of air. You muse thoughtfully about whether or not you should be distressed at the sight. But even then, the blanket of peace doesn't leave you. Suddenly, from the pile of skin enclosed next to you, you see a lump moving around. You watch in dazed fascination as the lump makes its way to the part of the skin where the head used to be, and out from the mouth crawls a tiny black kitten. You can hear the familiar hissing sound all around you now as the ununified chants start to fade, only to be replaced with the faint mewlings of kittens. Finally, your voice is the only one still chanting, still human and alone. Again. You don't want that. You can't go back to that. Not again. Not again. Please. Just then, you completely limp. Your body feels light, but it might as well weigh several tons, because you realize quite suddenly that you can't move. Not an inch. You can't shift your eyes to look around. You can't even breathe, but somehow, the chant continues to creak weakly from your mouth. What is happening? You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, what the fuck is happening? A few kittens come forward and perch themselves on the chairs around you, watching your sinking body, mewing as they wait for their youngest sibling to emerge from you. Dozens of glowing eyes peer down at you. And as your eyes start to cave into the sockets of your softening skull, you manage to make out the silhouette of a familiar cat perching on the seat right in front of you. Your vision finally fades, and at the same hiss of air expels itself from your mouth. The last thing you sense is something small and alive shifting eagerly under your skin. Happy birthday?